Good day and welcome to this edition of Saints Sports. My name is Dominic Papa, and it's been a couple of weeks since we last talked. I apologize for that, but we were just swamped with Saints Sports, doing a lot of production work with the Saints Athletics Department. Such a busy time around the college. Women's softball, of course, hosted the national championship along with their own schedules. Men's women's soccer were busy. Baseball was on the go at the Lacoste Park. And, of course, football is ongoing. Just a lot of great stuff going on. Of course, the women winning a national championship in softball. They'll now play for the Ontarios. We're hoping to track down Coach Doug Wiseman to talk to him a little bit later about that. We'll also hope to track down Coach Mike Lachance to talk about his upcoming OFC championship game this Saturday. We're going to talk men's baseball because they're hosting the OCAA men's baseball championships. Roberto Duncan will join us for that. Mike Barasilevsky and the men's soccer team, a good job getting into the playoffs despite battling with injuries all season long. They're actually hosting a home playoff game. He'll give us the lowdown on that. But we're going to start things off with the always busy and fast-paced cross-country program at St. Clair College. And no better man to talk to about cross-country than the speedy one himself, Coach Paul Boots, who joins us on the show. Good day to you, Coach Boots. And I see you're all bundled up. You're doing a little recruiting work today, from what I understand.
Yeah, that's right. That was quite an introduction. My goodness. Boy, the St. Clair's been busy. Wow.
Yeah, it's been just unbelievable what's going on there, and the great work that's been put together by the teams, the coaching staffs, the personnel working off the playing surfaces. Just incredible what they're doing this year. That's for sure. But talk to me about cross country. Some incredible things happening there with your squad.
Yeah, we had our last regular season meet was on Saturday in Centennial. And, we had between second to fifth, there was only 4 points that separates it, which is be like, someone throwing up a 3-pointer at the buzzer to win. It's going to be exciting in a couple of weeks when we go to the tundra of Thunder Bay for the provincial championships.
Don't they call that Thunder Bay?
The girls' race is going to be really. Yeah, no, it is now.
It is now, anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guys, we finally got one of our guys back. One of our last year, he was an All-Canadian, Jake. So he was his first race of the year, and we've been very careful, and you have to be with any sort of injury. So we were careful, and I think we played it pretty well because he came back and finished fourth, and our guys' team. They captured the gold medal. So that was exciting.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those results. I think we have a little of a chart here of what's been going on. Nice. There we go. The men's cross country in a gold at Centennial. Mentioned the runners there. Tyler Jones, I just love this guy. What a great athlete. What a superstar he is. Placed second, Jacob Fitzpatrick and Rick Nepomenso.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then our fourth guy was 8th, Dom. So we had 4 in the top 8, and which is why we won when you get 4 in the top 8. So that was it was a really good showing. Our we were excited about it.
I don't want to leave out the women here, and I know you don't as well, no. Coach, because they're working hard as well. How's the progress going there with them?
Really good. We did have some rankings come out today. They're good. We had some rankings come out today, and the team that beat us by 2 points is actually ranked 6th in the country. So, I mean, rankings mean a lot of nothing, but, our girls can certainly get the silver medal. The first place team is quite good, but we can certainly get the silver medal. And they're improving all the time. We have a doozy lined up today for practice, and, we're running them hard. We do have a couple of rookies that are really improving a lot. So, as you mentioned before, Dom, when you're on the show before, how the veterans can help out, and the veterans are doing an outstanding job in helping our new rookies coming in. So it's been a great team effort.
So you have a little bit of a gap here right now, Coach, before the Ontarios. and it's it's obviously late in the season here. How much tweaking can you do, or do you want to do in the approach to these events, to this All Ontario Championship with the women and the men? Is there a lot of tweaking at this point, or do you just let the chips fall where they're at right now?
Well, we have a program and we have a plan that we follow. So the tweaking part would be, we do more speed work at this time, and we also have a map of the provincial championships. So we use that map. And the one good thing about Malden Park is, we've been around here a few years, so we can make anything comparable to a course when we get a map in advance. And today we have it all set up so that the girls are going to be running basically what they're going to be running next weekend. We've looked at it and analyzed it, and we'll be, that's our tweaking, I suppose, would be the component of it, is they're going to be running the course today and sort of, right? Mm-hmm.
With that said, and I know you do your homework very well, you're very thorough. You know the competition that's going to be there. Let's start with the women on the Ontario side of it. You mentioned that the sixth place team ranked in the country is just 2 points ahead of your club.
Yep.
Which is great. If anything, that should give them some really good incentive, I would imagine. But what do you think has to happen for the women to get to at least on the podium, which is, I think, the goal here? Just let's get a medal.
Well, it's easy to have one girl run well, and it's easy to have two girls run well. The same can be said for the guys. But to get on the podium, everybody has to run well. And sure, that sounds easy enough, but it's simply not the case in all sports, really. You need to have everyone to be firing on all their cylinders. And we do give them a little bit of we pull back and give them a little break next week, Dom, as far as mileage goes. And, a lot of it, to be honest, when it comes down to it, it's physically, it's the part of the thing. But when it comes down to the final race, a lot of it is mental. They have to be mentally prepared. And we like to think that we do a good job preparing the kids mentally, and which is why we've had good results. So it's a lot of mental prep for the next week.
Yeah. And of course, the men, I would say in recent years, the results you've got there, Coach Boots, that the men maybe even wearing something like a bullseye in their back, being one of the top teams and teams gunning for them.
Well, Dom, I think you hit the nail on the head, because I did receive a note from a nice coach out in Quebec. He's a great guy, and he coaches one of the better teams in Quebec. And as he said, he says, anytime we're close to a green shirt at the finish line, we've had a good day. So I took that both as a bit of, we have a target on our back, and secondly, as a bit of a compliment from the guy. So it was nice to hear.
I think that's a huge compliment for sure. That's outstanding. And it just shows the respect that you've gained for your club, for yourself. And I love that kind of stuff. Kudos to that coach for also saying something like that.
Super guy.
Yeah. So obviously there's some, you're going into this thing on a pretty good note. Do you think the consistency is there, Coach? Obviously the hunger is there. I know these guys are hungry to win, but that consistency that's needed to be a top end team and finish in the top end of the Ontarios there.
Yeah, we do. And we did speak of hunger as well, Dom. That's, you can't overstate that. You can't be complacent, even though, we've had a lot of successes, in the last few years. You still have to be hungry. That's part of the mental aspect of cross country. It's, it's 8 kilometers for the guy during that time. You have to be, mentally prepared. You have to be focused. You have to be on your game. There's no timeouts. Once they start, they go. So they have to be ready to go.
Good stuff. That's a long trip. I think
base bar.
Yeah. You'll be flying for that one?
Yes, we will, Dom. Yeah.
Awesome. We will check in with you, Coach, and hopefully we're talking about medals. And we certainly wish you and the two teams the best of luck, and keep up the great work. Your hard work certainly paying off, and we love the results. So
we're excited, Dom, and I appreciate you having me on your show. Always a good time.
Always my pleasure. That's for sure. That's
All right, thanks a lot.
Coach. That's Coach Paul Boots working hard with the cross country programs. Another team that's going to be playing a very important game this upcoming weekend on Sunday afternoon, to be exact, is that of the men's soccer team. They've qualified for the playoffs. They'll be hosting a home playoff game, which is always very exciting and a great accomplishment in itself. I think even more so this year because Coach Mike Bereslewski has had a lot of injuries to deal with, and he's guided this team into the playoffs. So that's great news. Coach B joins us right now on the program. Good day to you, Coach Mike. And first of all, congratulations on the playoff berth. That's always a good accomplishment. And now some time to get ready for this playoff game. And it's easy to say now, Coach. It's one and done if you don't win. So the incentives there, I'm sure. But hosting a home playoff game, how important was that to accomplish that this year? And does it give you some of the an edge going into this game?
Well, you play to make the playoffs, and then you play to make the home hosting the home playoff game. And obviously, the choice was 2-hour trip or a 20-minute trip to the field or a 10-hour trip to Ottawa. So I think we got a good break there.
Durham will be the opponent. Before we get into that, Coach, of course, they're coming over from the other division, the East Division. It's a crossover in the playoffs. We'll get into that in a moment. But the regular season itself, how would you rate it? And you had a lot of adversity, Coach, just through injuries mostly, that really had to be worked through this year.
Yeah, well, that was kind of the story of the year so far. How many guys were we going to be able to field from our first choice 11? So, we ran into trouble starting with the second game, or one of our captains went down in that game. The next game, our other captain went down for the year. And subsequently, it's been one after another. So at one point, we're counting seven of the first 11 first choice guys, the starters, that we couldn't field on the team. We managed to get through some tough games, and that speaks to the depth of our team. But certainly, it's been very difficult, and it's been a trying season so far with the injuries.
But you have to be really pleased, Coach Bereslewski. You kind of alluded to it. Other players had to step in and fill those spots, and you still managed to get into the playoffs. Did that surprise you at all? How well they played, or how they did, I guess, react to being thrown into that spot?
No, I think in one of our previous interviews we were talking about the depth of our team, and I think we assessed that correctly, and we did get quite a few guys in, maybe that wouldn't normally play as much in a normal year, and for that, the experience of playing and coming through games that with some success is going to speak well for them and for the team. Should we require their help in the upcoming playoffs games? So.
Yeah, we need to buy a little time here with a win or two. That's for sure.
We need some better weather too. We got to get a little warmer weather to get the injured guys on the field.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to warm up this weekend, so hopefully that'll be the case. Sunday's supposed to be a pretty nice day, actually. So hopefully the weatherman's right, and we do get some fine weather for it. But let's get into this playoff game then, Coach. Durham comes over from the other conference. There's always going to be the comparisons. This conference deeper than this conference, or better, or whatever. You know what? To me, that doesn't matter. I don't know what you think about that, Coach. You control your own destiny here. That's what it really boils down to.
Certainly. You play one at a time, and you got to be prepared and ready to go. And you control your own destiny. You got to win the game, and that's that. We've played Durham. We played Durham last year, right around this time.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we're fortunate to come ahead on penalty shots. Maybe that's what it'll take this week as well. Let's hope not. They're a little tough on the old coach here.
Yes.
I think both conference or divisions, East and West, are equally as good. There's good teams there, and certainly we have some good teams on our side here. Durham, again, we've played them 3 or 4 times in the last 5 years, so it seems to be definitely a rivalry developing between the two of us. You know, their coaches do a good job getting them prepared, and hopefully we'll be up to the task.
Mm-hmm. Without saying too much, Coach, because I know you can't reveal everything. We don't know if Durham is watching this show or not, but just the same, where is the injury?
I'd like to say hi to them. They're good guys.
Well, okay, we'll say hello to them, and thanks for tuning in. But where is the injury status at? What's the injury situation at right now, Coach?
Well, we're slowly working on getting some guys. We set out some guys in games, in important games, but obviously we felt that it would be more important for them to be, you know, to be well rested and heal the injuries, and you know, get to somewhat a normal level of fitness. It looks like we're going to get most of these guys back on the field for Sunday. It'll remain to see how they come through all that. Hopefully we can get them, you know, at 100%. But one never knows until you try to push yourself and see how the body holds up.
That's a great point you bring up, though, Coach. Some of these guys haven't played in a few weeks now because of the injuries, and now they're being thrown into the fire of a playoff game. Obviously, I'm sure you'll be monitoring them a little closer than maybe some of the other guys on the squad.
Well, yes. You know, I was talking about the better weather. I mean, it would be nice to get them, to push them a little bit in practice. But when you've got, you know, temperature in 6 degrees and pouring rain out there, it's difficult to get guys that are dealing with, you know, muscle injuries and groin injuries. So we're hoping starting tomorrow and Friday, we can get them out a little more at higher, you know, a little more at speed and give them a good test. You know, it's difficult. You got to really come through to a couple of training sessions before you can go out and compete in a game that requires you to be at 100%. And so hopefully we'll be able to do that. We will monitor them through practices, and certainly the game. Well, that'll show itself. If they're doing well, they stay on. If they're not, we have to move on from them and bring in the next guy.
Yep. Yeah. Next one up on the list. That's for sure. Evan, do we have a graphic for this game? I believe it's going to happen on Sunday. The Saints men's soccer team will be in playoff action. 3:00 game, I believe, right, Coach?
Yes. 3 p.m. kickoff.
Okay. At Acumen Stadium against Durham. Let's pack the place. Let's get a good crowd in there to help support the Saints. They would love that. They would feed off of that, and Coach Mike would like to see that as well. So, Coach, I'll see you on Sunday. I'll look forward to it, and we wish you the best of luck with the game.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you.
All right. That's Coach Mike Baraslevsky of the men's soccer team. Again, great year for them if you really think about it, considering all the injuries they've had. Just one challenge after another, and to get them in the playoffs in a home playoff game, I think is just a tremendous accomplishment put together there by Coach Baraslevsky and the team there. I'm going to switch sports, baseball. Oh my God, baseball, and I better say softball, or else I'm going to get in trouble with the women. So there's men's baseball and there's women's softball. Coach Roberto, I know you've been waiting, but wait a bit more. I want to go to Coach Doug Wiseman because I know he's on the road on his way to London, where the Ontario Championships are going to take place. Coach Wiseman, if you're there with us on the bus, there you are, looking good. Appreciate the time here. First of all, congratulations on everything up to this point. And secondly, is that Shaylin with you?
Yeah.
I think that's Shaylin. Can you hear me, Coach?
IT specialist. Yeah, I can hear me.
Okay. So Shaylin's helping you out technically?
I can hear you, Dom.
Yeah, I can hear you, Coach. We can hear you. Okay.
She's my IT specialist here. Got school / shortstop.
She does it all, doesn't she? She's an IT specialist. She's a great softball player. She's a great basketball player. And I'm sure most guys think she's a pretty hot lady too. And I say that with all due respect to Shaylin. So it's great to have that help. That's for sure. Let's talk about, Coach. I want to go back a little bit.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good on this show. The national championship, hosting it and winning it. What a feather in your cap. What a feather in the cap of all the girls. Talk to me about the experience of that whole tournament and having it here at St. Clair.
Yeah, you bring up a bit, Dominic. Definitely a special time for us. And I'm not sure if you hear me or not, but we kept improving right through the season, and we were well prepared once that tournament came. We couldn't wait to get home to play.
Yeah, the thing, you knew you were hosting it, so you knew you were going to be part of it. How well? I mean, obviously they played extremely well. Did anything surprise you though, Coach? Some of the games, I won't say they were routes by any means. The competition was very good there, but boy, it was really incredible to see how strong the Saints really were, and boy, did they ever execute during that entire tournament.
We did. We definitely played up to our ability. Is what I've seen. I saw, and the better teams that we played against.
You put that one on my chair. Yeah, the powder one. Thank you. Is there another powder one? Well, I'm okay, thank you.
Okay. I was surprised at our effort, and we just kept coming.
Yeah. Let's put up a graphic here. I know we've got some numbers here, Coach, and I'll read them off to you. I don't know if you're able to see them on the screen there, but some of the numbers for the Saints softball team. This is over the last two seasons. You're obviously 24-0 this season. You're 41-1 over the last two seasons. 277 runs for and only 20 against, and of course the national championship. And it's hard to believe that last year you didn't win a championship at the Ontario level or the national level. Everything's happening this year, but just incredible numbers, Coach. Obviously, you got to be proud of those numbers, but what type of statement does it make about Saints softball right now?
We never gave up. Last year, I think we were snake bit. But it is what it is. I'm not a big believer in overachieving or underachieving. I think you believe you achieve what you achieve. And last year we had a little bad break score away, and this year we didn't leave that up to any bad breaks. We just came after it. We were bear down and focused.
Yeah, the focus is there. That's for sure. You've had a little bit of time now since the national championship. Going into the Ontario's here, Coach. Obvious question, I think. Well, the national championship was a goal this year, especially since you hosted it. The edge for the girls right now, the hunger going to the Ontario's, because it's kind of a strange schedule that way, that you play the nationals before your own provincials. You still sense the same urgency in the girls through practice getting ready for the Ontario's, and is that hunger there?
After the Nationals, we had six regular season games to complete, and we just went through it. And we kept focusing on doing the little things right, continuing to play with focus and with the vision in mind. So we didn't get to practice this week due to the weather, and I really didn't want to get about the elements. I don't think we needed to jeopardize anybody's injuries or anybody getting sick. So we did have a meeting Monday night. My message is to embrace what we're doing, and that's what we're going to do.
I think I know the answer to this, Coach, but I'll ask anyways for our viewers. Do you change anything going into Ontario's? Because obviously the teams that will be there are more familiar with your team and what you guys do so well. Do you tweak anything, or do you just approach it the same way you've been approaching everything this season?
Nothing stamped on, but honestly, our focus this year has been us. I'm not gonna change our strategy against certain teams. That'll be up to them. But we're gonna take care of our own business and play the best we can. Let the chips fall in.
Obviously, you're going to have a bullseye on your back because you're the national champs, and you've got this streak of 24 straight wins. A lot of these teams are going to be be the ones to say we stopped the Saints. We knocked them off. Do you anticipate the games being a little more intense?
I certainly do. Things are going to get a little tighter for sure. I'm expecting maybe they'll be trying some different situations, but we're prepared. I'm sure teams are going to probably try to play small ball on us. And I would probably do the same, but we're prepared. We're focused. We're better defensively than we are offensively, in my opinion, and which is a big statement.
Okay, well, you have a couple more days off before this all starts in London at Fanshawe. They're hosting it, and you're going in for the banquet and stuff like that. You'll be able to watch some of the action tomorrow. I believe your first game is it Friday morning, Coach?
It's Friday morning at 11. So tonight, the reason we're going up so early to the banquet's tonight, and there's a couple games tomorrow. There's 2 play-in games, 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. But we're going to get an hour and a half to our practicing tomorrow, and maybe take in one of the games. See who we draw. I will be at least anyway. And we're going to hang out tomorrow as a team, go for dinner, and fire it back up.
Looking forward to it, Coach. Really appreciate giving us some time here on the bus ride here. I almost feel like I'm riding with you guys. Thanks, Shaylin, for her IT help with this, and best of luck to you and the ladies. Good job, Shaylin. Actually, can we talk to Shaylin for a moment? Are you still with us there, Shaylin? You still with us there, Shaylin?
Okay.
There you go. Talk to me, Shaylin. Tell me about the girls and what they're thinking, how they feel about everything that's happened up to this point.
I mean, our saying since nationals, since the beginning of the year has been like, okay, what's next? What's next? We got this. Like, let's go. We're not satisfied. Like nationals, yeah, that's fun, but you don't win nationals and then don't put your full foot forward and win OCs. So that's the goal now. Nationals is behind us. It's fun. It was good that we got it, but the next step is up.
What in your eyes this year, Shaylin? I mean, this is a really deep team. A lot of these girls that are not playing as much as yourself as a starter would probably be starters on other teams, but nobody seems to be, making that an issue. What makes this team special, and what makes it all work as one big strong unit there?
Well, I got to start giving props to Doug. He said it is all about how you handle things, your personality. That's how he picks the team. You can have the best skill in the world, but if you're not gonna break group of girls, and honestly here, just how everybody knows their spots and how things work, and it works really well together.
Well, you're one of the key cogs there, that's for sure, and a great leader for the team. Appreciate you taking a little time to help us out here today, Shaylin. Best of luck at the tournament to you and your teammates, and hopefully another gold medal coming your way shortly there.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach Wiseman, as well. All right, that's the women's softball team, of course. Just an incredible year, and boy, would it ever be nice to just finish it off with a provincial championship and keep that streak alive. Can you imagine if they went perfect, whatever it would be, 28-0 or whatever? That'd be an amazing feat, that's for sure. Speaking of amazing, the men's baseball team, an outstanding campaign in their own right, and they'll be hosting the Ontario men's baseball championships this weekend out at Lacoste Park. Of course, we would love to see a lot of people coming to watch those games. Great ballpark to watch baseball, and the Saints always bring a nice brand of baseball to the table, so well worth the admission and certainly the time to go watch some of this. Always working hard at this is the head coach, Roberto Duncan, who joins us. Good day to you, Coach Duncan. Thanks for your patience, and you got to be pretty excited. This is basically a day away from getting this thing going here.
That's right. Thank you, Dom, as always, for having us here and showing the support to all of us as coaches. That's always really appreciated from us. Yeah, very excited. We play our first game at 11 a.m. on Friday. I think the guys are excited for it too. So we have our athletic banquet today as well. So looking forward to that. But lots of energy. The guys have lots of energy, and they want to get the job done.
Well, obviously the regular season campaign is done, Coach Duncan, and you've had a chance to evaluate that, I'm sure. If you can, just give us a little bit of insight to what you thought of the regular season and how well the team played.
Well, the regular season went better than what we thought. We had a lot of good at bats and a lot of battles with some pitchers. Some teams came up and put up a good fight in spots that we thought we were too comfortable, and I'm glad that it happened because at some point we have to make sure that we feel some pressure on ourselves and that we can handle the pressure. So we had different kind of situations during the season that I think is it just built us up as a team, and it prepared us for what's coming next. These games that are coming on the weekend are going to be tough, and you know we had a lot of games that we were comfortable in runs, but I think we're going to see the best of the best, and runs are going to be hard to get, and but I still think that we have the team that is going to be able to do the damage and make the difference at the end of the year.
Obviously, when you get into a tournament like this, Coach Duncan, it's in such a compressed schedule, just a time frame. Pitching is always a key in whether you're playing a game during the regular season or in a tournament like this. But what else do you think it takes for a team to be successful at this level and to win an Ontario championship in a tournament like this?
Be together, work as a team. Not everything is going to work the way we want it to work during the playoffs. We might see our hitting go down a little bit for a couple innings or for a game, but we might have our pitchers to stand up and do the job for us and just hold us there whenever it's a tie game and stuff like that. So it's more than anything, it's just be together, help each other, just be better, and be able to handle the pressure, because these games that are coming here, there's going to be a lot of pressure. There's going to be a lot of situations that anything can change a game. So it comes to more than anything, just being able to handle that pressure.
I think I've only taken a brief glance at the schedule here, Coach Duncan. I think you have a bye the first day, correct?
That's right. We play Friday. I think we are going to play the winner between Fanshawe and George Brown.
Okay. With that said, though, my question is, would you much rather be playing tomorrow and just get right into it, or is having that extra day maybe even a little bit of an advantage?
Well, the extra day helps, to keep your arms healthy. Like you said, it's such a short 2 days, and in 2 days you can play up to 5 games. That's how bad it could be. But having that extra day helps. On the pitching side, on the hitting side, now we have 5-6 days without seeing a pitcher live, so it changes the whole dynamic too, right? So it's kind of a give and take. We prefer the Friday for sure, but at some point hitting would be could be not that it's gonna be an issue, but it could be something that could be slowing down as we have so many days without watching a pitcher.
What is the status of your team, Coach, health-wise, injury-wise, and your pitching staff? I know we talked a little bit before on a previous show that you had a good pitching staff, a deep pitching staff. So where does everything stand heading into this championship with your pitchers, and also just from an injury standpoint?
Yeah, so from an injury standpoint, my starting shortstop has been here for half of the season, and he still have a bad hamstring. So I'm still going to use him during the week. He's not going to start at shortstop. He'll be most likely a designated hitter. Pitching wise, we had a couple pitchers that got a little tight the last couple outings, and but I think they're back to where they're going to be able to perform at their best. The pitching, our starting pitcher has been good throughout the whole year. I would probably say that our weakness is the back end. When we have to get to the bullpen, it's where we're gonna have to hang on tight and make the plays. The guys have to make the plays back there defensively and all that stuff. Other than that, our guys are healthy. We're good to go and just excited. Excited to get things started.
Yeah, we're excited too, and I don't know if Evan has a graphic. We're going to be, of course, broadcasting from Lacoste Park all weekend long. We'll have each and every one of the games from the championship right up to the gold medal game, and it all starts actually tomorrow afternoon at 4:00. We'll be on air live to take in the first game. Coach, I'm sure you're going to be doing there's the teams actually that are participating. And of course, yes, it goes for the next 3 days, starting tomorrow at 4:00. So we look forward to that. Coach, I would imagine you're going to be doing a little more scouting, even though I'm sure you know these teams all very well already.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. I'm probably going to watch both games. I do have a lot of scouting. I do scouting throughout the whole season, and even I save stats from the years before, and I look at tendencies and things that players, do consistently that can give away, the way they're going to hit the ball or where they're going to hit the ball. So that's more of that, right? That's really what I really like to do that when it comes to baseball and study other teams.
That's why you're a championship coach, for those reasons. That's why you're the best. Good stuff, Coach. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you at the park and talking baseball with you. And like every other team that's busy this weekend, we wish you luck as well. And hopefully it's a gold medal come this Saturday.
Appreciate it, Dom. Appreciate it. See you guys on the weekend.
That's for sure. Coach Roberto Duncan, he's all set to go. I just love talking baseball with him, and he does such a great job. What a catch for the Saints to get him on the coaching staff there. Speaking of coaches, one of my longtime contacts in the coaching world that I've been able to learn from, obviously, and also just got to know very well over the years is the head coach of the Saints football team, formerly the Fratmen. Covered him as a player, and I've covered him as a coach for the last, I think 17 years or so, Coach Mike Lachance, and he joins us on the show. Good day to you, Coach Lachance.
Hey, Dom.
17 years now coaching?
Yeah, it's my 18th season.
18th, okay.
18th season and 19th year.
Oh, wow. And
we
you still have all your hair. What's up with that? My God. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Well, let's go back to last week first, Coach, the semifinal game. Hamilton played you tough during the regular season. In fact, you had said you made no secret about it that they played you the toughest. But yet, coming into that game, there was understandably some nerves, some tension. But boy, oh boy, a 44-0 win. I think that makes a statement, does it not?
Yeah, I think it makes a statement of how well our team was prepared and how well they executed the game plan. I was very confident in our defensive abilities against Hamilton. I thought we matched up well, but I did have some concerns about how their defense matched up on our offense, and I thought they could do some things against us to limit what we like to do. And they did during the regular season. They did limit us in some ways.
Yeah, I guess, was this – I mean, they've played a lot of great games this year. When I see a score like 44-0 against a team like Hamilton, I think, boy, was this maybe the best game of the year so far?
I think it was our most complete effort when you go offense, defense, and special teams. And then when you break it down from there, the way that we limited the run, we essentially shut it down. I think they had 38 yards rushing. And the way that we limited their passing game, I think they had 136 total yards total net yards after losses. So defensively, we were outstanding. Special teams wise, we hit a couple mid to long range field goals. They tried to trick us early in the game, and we responded well on a punt back on a kickoff. So we really responded on that realm, and we limited their return yardages. And they have some real good athletes on that team, so we did cover it really well. And then offensively, they did a good job against the run. We rushed for 150 yards, so they did limit us running because we like to rush for over 250. That's our goal every game. So they did a good job of limiting our running game, but we really exploded in the passing game, and that's something that I've been preaching to our guys all year long. just because we don't do the beauty of the passing game every week where we're throwing for 300 yards, that seemed like it was the norm 2 years ago, where we threw for 303 scores every game. Just because we don't do it every game, it doesn't mean we're not capable of doing it when we need to. And when our running game's limited, we need Andrew to step up, and we need the playmakers to make plays. And certainly everyone stepped up in that regard.
There's always been a little bit of a concern, Coach LaChance, that maybe the regular season isn't challenging enough. Of course, you get into the playoffs, you want to be tested, you want to be pushed. Was there enough push in this game against Hamilton to help you prepare for the next step here?
Yeah, I think not just in this Hamilton game, but I think throughout the course of the year, it's been a really competitive season. I think that there's 4 really strong teams in the league. Certainly Quinty's a new expansion team, and they're still growing, and GTA has their issues, but Ottawa really came on the scene like they didn't miss a beat, even after a 2-year hiatus. They were a very strong team. You're going to get out of them every year, and Hamilton is never an easy out. So I think that the league was pretty strong this year, and sometimes you win. I think we're regular season, we're 47-1 in the last 6 years. So regular season wise, we kind of spoil ourselves, and we put expectations on ourselves, which are great. But at the same time, we can't, people can't have it both ways. If we blow somebody out, you can't say the league's garbage. And if the games are tight, you can't say that we're not doing a good job. Sometimes there's truth falls in between. Sometimes the teams are not really good that we're playing. And sometimes when it's a close game, you have to give the other team credit. And I think that is a really good point for this year, is that these tight games wasn't us playing poorly. It's the other team doing some things to take some things away. They coach 5 days a week too, and they recruit the same as we do. So every team's got a shot, and that's why you play the games. Certainly we play them all to the best of our ability, and we're proud when we win 1-0, and we're really proud when we win 44-0. So.
Yeah, a win's a win. I'll take a win at any time. That's for sure. And I don't care what the score is. Okay, so with that said, if you follow OFC football, you do not need any incentives here for this game. This one can self-promote itself. The rivalry that's been developed between these two teams going for the OFC title, the Saints, and of course the London Beefeaters, second to none, maybe one of the better ones in the entire CJFL. Coach, I hate to bring it up. How much does this go back to last year now? And how tough is it? Maybe just to even put that all aside and focus on this year.
Well, we have, as you know, Don, we have 50 new players on this 80-man roster. So it really only impacts 30 people when it comes to the players. Now, certainly most of the coaches were there last year, but a kid like Andrew Brush doesn't care what happened last year in the finals. He hears us talk about it, and I might as well be talking about World War II. It's a history to him, something he wasn't involved with. He could appreciate it, I'm sure. And I'm just using Andrew as an example because he's new to the team and he's a prominent player. But certainly with 50 new people, there's plenty of starters and contributors that weren't part of it last year. So to them, London's a team that's a rival. They understand the rivalry. They felt the energy. Andrew was the first one to say it to me. And now I know what you're talking about. The energy is different when we played London. People are up. Both teams play really well, and they play hard. And it's a 4-quarter battle no matter what the score is. So I think those types of things are appreciated. But I don't know if last year in the final impacts the majority of our team. Now, certainly for me, I take it personally. I saw how London reacted after the game, and I use that as motivation. I see some of the things that are said, and anyone who says that they're not impacted by that, I think is fooling themselves, because we all are. Good, bad, or indifferent, you're impacted by it. And I think if you use it to motivate yourself, it's a positive thing. So you can take those negatives that you experience and just make you incrementally better. Those experiences that you have, the failures that you have, and as long as you're improving on them, I think that it's a positive thing.
The games that were played this year, Coach, with London, obviously you won. You had a perfect campaign. How much do you take from that game this year, those games this year, and or do you use some of that, or is it just a different environment when you get into a championship game? One game takes all here.
We've done our statistical analysis on London on all of their games, not just against us. So we take their games against Ottawa, their games against Hamilton, so on and so forth, and we put together a game plan like that, and we see what their percentages are on doing some things. I'm certain that they self-scout and they'll try to mix some things up as well, but it all goes into it. I'm sure they've done the same to us. We've worked tirelessly on this one, and we've had it in our minds for a while. Regardless if we didn't know who we were going to play, we've been preparing for it. We'll be ready, and I'm sure they'll throw some things at us that we don't expect, and vice versa. It'll go back and forth, and we'll see who adjusts the best. And really, I think that I told our kids, and I don't make any bones about it, I think we're the better team. I think if we play our game and we play to our capabilities and we execute our game plan, we don't have much to worry about. But that was the same last year, and they upset us. So we didn't play 4 quarters of football last year. We were close. We played 3 3/4 quarters. But we didn't play 4 quarters. And you know what? London's the type of team that they hang around, and they're going to make it difficult. They're not going to be an easy out. They're a well-coached group. They believe in themselves, and they believe that they could pull the upset. And I don't even know if they think it's an upset, to be honest with you. And that's a dangerous group to play. And I told our team, you just got to respect your opponent in this case more than ever, because they're a team that really believes, and that's a very dangerous thing when you're playing a team that believes in themselves.
Are they still the team to beat, Coach, since they're the champs?
Yep, they're the 2-time champs. They're the team to beat. As far as I look at it, we're the underdog until we're holding that trophy. So regardless of the games at home, regardless of the regular season scores, you look at the points for and against, you look at the yards rushing, passing, whatever, we've got a lot in our favor. But they have a bunch of all-stars on their team. We have a bunch on our team. And when you line it up, you just hope that your kids are playing their A game. That's it. You got to hope that your A players play like A players. And if they do, they'll carry you.
Well, one thing like last year, Coach, I think you have the 2 best teams playing for the championship, which I think is a great thing for the league. Yeah. I think that's important. And certainly whoever wins this game, no one can say that they won it by in any way of any kind of default, for sure.
No, and you know what? There's people talk about last year that there was a fluke. I don't think there's flukes in games like that. I just think that things happen, and if it happens in the last 2 minutes of the game, it's odd, but it could have happened earlier in the game, and things could have turned on their head earlier in the game. It just happened to be in the last 2 minutes, and it's a terrible thing to go through if you're on the wrong side of it. But if you're on the right side of it, you think you played a great game because you hung around and you did what you had to do at the end to win it. So you just tip your hat to the team that does that. And I don't want to be on the wrong end of that. And I think last year, if we would have played our game, we would have been up 24 at the half instead of 3. So we just have to do what we have to do early in the game. We have to control the play. We have to control the pace. We have to control the tempo. And we have to physically be the better team. And if we do that, we can carry ourselves through the 4th quarter.
I like the plan, Coach. Hopefully it all comes together. Saturday night, it's going to be a big night at Acumen Stadium. Another classic football game for an Ontario championship. Wish you the best of luck with that, Coach. I'll look forward to seeing you at the stadium. And I'm just hoping for a St. Clair championship here. That's for sure. So,
yeah, let's pack that house. It's people don't realize that Acumen Stadium is the biggest home field advantage in the CGFL. When it's busy and it's packed, it's loud. Our kids feel the support and get out there and be loud and proud.
I agree with you. It's a great stadium, and yes, we need all the St. Clair fans there. Get there early. Get your seat early. Not a bad seat in the house, but get your seat early. Get in position. There's a lot of tailgating going on, but just get to the stadium early and enjoy the entire atmosphere and really what this game is bringing. Coach, great stuff. I'll look forward to seeing you Saturday.
Thanks, Tom. I appreciate it.
All right, that's head coach Mike Lachance of the St. Clair Saints football team. As you saw, the game between London and St. Clair, we'll have our pregame show starting at 6:50. All of the action will be starting at live at 7 p.m. with the kickoff. We are excited to be there, and we'll be bringing it to you here through We Digital. From what I understand, it's going to be a pay-per-view event. So I just want to let you know, if you're going to stay at home to watch it, you'll have to shell out a few bucks. It's well worth it. The game will be an exciting game, no question about it, but it's going to be on a pay-per-view basis. That's it for this edition of Saints Sports. What a show. A lot of great things to talk about, that's for sure. Next week, we'll review everything that's happened, and also we're going to talk some basketball next week as the Saints basketball teams will tip off their seasons, and we'll get some of the coaches on to tell us what to expect this year on the hard floor there with the Saints basketball programs. Until next week, this is Dominic Papa thanking you for tuning in. Take care, everybody. Stay warm, and we'll see you all again very soon. you.